When you strip away the noise and the bright lights, it's just the game you loved as a kid.
They didn't just drop a commercial, they dropped a cinematic moment. Wilson just unveiled its newest ad for Caitlin Clark's signature basketball collection. And let's be clear, it doesn't just sell a product, it tells a legend. If Caitlin Clark's moves on the court are poetry in motion, then this commercial is her highlight reel, remixed with soul, in less than a minute. Wilson captures the full force of the Caitlin Clark effect, her story, her swagger, her deep bond with fans, and reminds us exactly why she isn't just a rising star, but the blazing face of women's basketball.
I don't think you could have a more perfect, a more perfect promotion campaign for anyone as what Wilson are just doing for Caitlin Clark. It's been legitimately perfect.
But here's where it gets even more powerful. The ball isn't just a product, it's a message. The real magic lies in the basketballs themselves, mini masterpieces of design and storytelling. Every inch screams Caitlin Clark, crafted with a precision that shows this wasn't just a product drop, it was the birth of a legacy. I'll break down the jaw-dropping details in a second. But here's the headline. Caitlin Clark just became the second player in history to earn a full Wilson signature line. The first, a guy named Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Let that sink.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
And this is where the energy shifts hard, because the moment fans saw this drop, one question echoed across the internet. How is Caitlin Clark the most Googled, followed, watched, and talked about female athlete in the world still without a signature? Shoo, it's baffling. It's bonkers. It's Nike-level baffling. If you think the swoosh is fumbling the bag, sound off in the comments below, because this is wild.
Making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
And then came the leak, and it's maddening. A Nike insider might have just spilled the tea, and if what they're saying is even half true, it's not just disappointing, it's downright insulting. Especially when you stack it up against what Wilson just pulled off: flawless execution, pure respect, and storytelling that actually honors Caitlin's journey.
Just kick things off by welcoming Caitlin to the Wilson Design Lab set today as we take a look behind the scenes at the product line that we've created. Phase 2 of the Caitlin Clark product line.
Let's get into it.
Now, let's bring it back to the people doing it. Wilson. While Nike's tripping over its own laces, Wilson's giving a masterclass in how to back your athlete. They've been riding with Caitlin since day one. Her first signature line. Massive success. It wasn't a product launch, it was a cultural shift. And now, once again, just so we're all clear, the only other hooper Wilson has done this for is Michael Jordan. This year, they didn't just repeat the win, they went bigger, bolder, smarter. Not just a name slapped on a ball, for handcrafted masterpieces, each dripping with purpose, energy, and insane detail.
So we'll go through the Aspire. So this is using a reasonably newer technology of ours, the UV technology. So the pattern that it actually reveals is different positive affirmations for the athletes who are actually taking it outside to play with it.
It's all about the details. Wow, that's awesome.
Let's start with the Aspire ball. It doesn't just talk. It glows. At first glance, it's sleek, minimal, clean gray. But when sunlight hits, boom, fever red messages burst through. Dream big, keep going. And the most touching, you're going to be amazing because you are amazing. That line isn't some branding fluff, it's pulled straight from Caitlin's pre-game ritual. It's what she tells Aliyah Boston before every game. This isn't merch. This is heart.
Okay, so we got Oasis.
I will say, this is my favorite from just seeing it at first glance.
The pattern is a bit of an abstract illustration of what water looks like. And then also you're seeing the fairway, the greens, that's also kind of interspersed in the pattern too.
It's amazing. It's hard to pick a favorite ball, but this is going to be up there with that.
Yeah.
Next, the Envision ball, and it's trippy in the best way. Designed for outdoor play. At first it looks like a wild maze, but look closer, hidden in the chaos. One phrase repeats over and over: dream big. It's motivational graffiti wrapped around a basketball. Then there's the Oasis ball, drenched in Caitlin's favorite shade of light blue. But it's not just a color. One of the panels features a bird's eye view of a golf course, a subtle nod to her love of golfing. It's a slick connection between her chill side and her on-court fire.
All right, so we're gonna cover this one next. We're running some data during one of your Fever home games. It would kind of track noise and sound whenever like you would make a play. How do we take that theme and put it into a design? Well, it was a little bit of a scientific
Now, this is cool. People need to listen to this. This is a high quality basketball. This is what the real hoopers use in the gym. This one. Can't pick a favorite. They're all amazing.
And finally, the crown jewel, the Embrace Ball. This one's the real Delivo NXT quality, built for official gameplay. League rules meant they had to dial down the flash, but Wilson still found a way to sneak in magic. Around the air hole, tucked inside the Wilson logo, there's a soft sunburst done in Caitlin's signature light blue. But wait, here's the twist. That sunburst, it's not random. It's a decibel meter, made from real crowd noise recorded. At a Fever game, literal fan energy embedded into the ball. Now that's storytelling through innovation.
Chanted defense by the Clarks fans. 6th on the shot clock. Clark, a deep three.
Feet on the hardwood, basketball in hand, guiding you, inspiring you, working on the player you dream to be. Because the ball will always bring you back to your favorite place. Calm, focused, and confident. To the place all roads lead, the game of basketball.
Wilson could have ended on a high, but then they hit us with the knockout punch. They had already delivered excellence, and then came the commercial visually jaw-dropping. Emotionally raw and unmistakably Caitlin. No gimmicks, no fluff. Just hoop, heart, hustle. The kind of ad that doesn't need to shout because it already echoes in your bones.
There is no better way to promote Caitlin Clark. She doesn't need any promotion of pregame fits. There doesn't need to be any, like, even a Nike terrible promotion is like, you can't win, so win, while ignoring her. You don't need to see, there doesn't need to be any of that crap. There doesn't need to be any bells and whistles. All you have to do is promote basketball.
Now let's address the giant swoosh in the room Nike. How is Wilson? Yes, Wilson setting the gold standard for signature gear, while Nike, the self-anointed king of basketball culture, is still tripping over red tape. Word from a Nike insider says the holdup's coming from hesitation, internal politics, and some good old-fashioned corporate doubt. Apparently, they didn't expect Caitlin to blow up this big, this fast. But here's the thing, with Caitlin Clark, you don't wait to believe, you act, you elevate. Wilson got that. Nike's still lost in the syllabus because Caitlin's appeal isn't complicated. She's a baller. She's got range, vision, leadership, swagger, and she fills arenas. You don't need to overthink her. You just need to honor her love for the game.
We are now a three-pointers distance behind the goal. We'll call it the -3. I knew it!
Weakness.
This is the bounce back.
Yes,
it is.
Fine.
Yes!
So good. Keep on making.
That's so good!
That's Caitlin's magic. She doesn't push a brand. She is the brand. Raw, intense, joyful every time she steps on the court. It's like she's injecting serotonin straight into the veins of the sport. She's not chasing viral clips, they chase her. Even her collaborations become appointment viewing. Case in point, her epic link-up with Dude Perfect.
I think at times the hardest part is like just not being able to be involved in practice. Like, I love practice. Not a ton of people always enjoy like coming to practice every single day, but that's something I like really enjoy. Like, I really enjoy coming out here and like competing every single day with my teammates. Like, that's probably honestly what I miss most. Obviously, I miss the games. That goes for anybody that's ever hurt, but like, I love practice. I love getting better.
Millions of views, massive engagement, zero gimmicks, just Caitlin. Doing Caitlin things, nailing dead-eye shots, radiating that contagious energy, and forging a real bond with fans. And then there's her recent interview, the one where she opened up about her injury. What did she miss most? Not the cameras, not the spotlight, the game, the grind, the part that no one else sees. That's who she is, wired to win and built to get better.
One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth. And I mean, she's the truth, and she was a rookie. right?
Yeah.
Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's
the ball.
crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty. So sometimes she's look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass. She can shoot. Man, she is a complete basketball player.
Stephanie White, head coach of the Fever, said it best when training camp kicked off. She didn't talk endorsements, didn't talk social stats. She talked about Caitlin's fire, her prep, her hunger. Caitlin Clark shows up every day like it's Game 7. That's why fans are ride or die for her. That's why she's not just part of the WNBA, she is its pulse. And for anyone still pushing the tired take that Caitlin Clark was handed fame, here's your mic drop. She didn't inherit this spotlight. She built it grit by grit, rep by rep, with a full throttle love for the game. But before we dive into how Nike fits into this train wreck, let's hear from a legend Hall of Famer Cynthia Cooper, who summed it all up perfectly.
Nike seems to be continuing to fumble the bag when it comes to Caitlin. She still doesn't have a signature shoe. The merch is very limited that they put out for Caitlin Clark, and a lot of fans are wondering why.
Wilson didn't just launch a product, they bottled Caitlin's essence. As a hooper and as a human being, the result, not just stylish, not just unique, inspirational. Now compare that to the brand that should be running laps around the competition, Nike. If anyone on earth should already have a signature shoe, it's Caitlin Clark. She's got the charisma, the following, the pull, MJ-level gravity. So where are the Kate Force ones? Because when you stack Wilson's custom masterpiece against Nike's radio silence, it's almost laughable. Yeah, we've heard rumors that a shoe's coming eventually, but let's not kid ourselves. Jordan had his in year 1, so did LeBron. When Nike spots a generational talent, they sprint. So what's with the delay? It's not just strange, it's straight up senseless. And finally, we might have an answer.
I want to show you two different charts here. One, your stock price since 2021. It is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play.
Enter Jordan Rogers, a former Nike marketing insider with 15 years behind the curtain. And when he spoke, he didn't hold back. What he revealed, yeah, it's the kind of stuff that makes you want to throw your sneakers at a boardroom window.
I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature shoe.
Turns out, Nike's not exactly riding a sales high. The classics, Jordans, and the like aren't flying off shelves anymore. They're desperate for something fresh, something cultural, and Caitlin Clark, she's right there, basically a walking cash register. Yet Nike's acting like her resume still under review. Why is the most talked about athlete in the country being slow-walked to the spotlight? Rogers spilled the tea and spoiler. Alert, it's not just disappointing, it's ugly.
And I don't know if you saw, but her boyfriend on his page reposted this, which I guess it could have been an accident, but I'm going to assume, y'all don't got internet or what? That's because apparently Nike didn't say anything. They were radio silent.
Did you catch it? That subtle flash of AJ Wilson's A1 sneakers in Rogers' post, that wasn't an accident. And remember when Nike ghosted Caitlin Clark's Iowa homecoming game versus Brazil? That wasn't random either. A packed house of 15,000 sold out in minutes. 1.3 million viewers tuned in for an exhibition game. And Nike, total silence, no tweet, no shout out, not even a half-hearted repost. It was so awkward. Caitlin's own boyfriend reposted a tweet that publicly called Nike out, loudly.
AJ Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot.
When the people closest to the action start setting off alarms, you know something's up. And now, it's crystal clear. It all circles back to AJ Wilson. And suddenly, the silence doesn't seem so innocent.
Your tagline in that was "You can't win, so win." One of the best explanations I can come up with is that you are wringing your hands and afraid to enter into this politically divisive conversation that has been co-opted by the media and pundits who are race baiting and doing all kinds of ridiculous things around women's basketball. You can't win, so win. You have the unicorn, the chosen one, the one who everyone wants to hear from, and you were just sitting around Gatorade, State Farm, Gainbridge, Wilson Basketball, have all figured out how to have a point of view with Caitlin Clark. Please, for the love of God, figure something out.
A JS sneaker launch just happened to drop days after Caitlin's explosive homecoming. Yeah, no one's buying the coincidence. Suddenly, the theory that Nike muted all support for Caitlin to avoid stealing. A JS Thunder. It's no longer speculation, it's looking like confirmation. Especially after Rodgers dumped the behind-the-scenes truth. That tea, piping hot.
And then you have a lot of folks that have come to the defense of numerous WNBA players because they were pointing out, like, this has been going on before long and people are not hating on her. It's not about hating on her. It's that you feel she is getting a level of attention that you deserved and you warranted long before she ever came along.
Let's be honest, this isn't just a Nike thing. It's a league thing. The same locker room politics that are clipping Caitlin's wings in the WNBA. They're bleeding into Nike's playbook. And no one's calling it out more clearly than Stephen A. Smith. He peeled back every layer and exposed what could be the biggest marketing miss of a generation.
Jordan, Kobe came along, there was resentment. I mean, the list goes on and on. It happens. So to me, there's nothing wrong with the resentment that you may feel towards what she represents. It's actually good because it provokes a level of hostility, which elevates the competitive fervor, and y'all go out there and compete, and everybody gets paid. But unfortunately, you almost feel like you have some folks within the WNBA that wishes that would rather not be in a very fruitful position because of their resentment towards her. And they won't admit it, but I've been talking about it for months.
There's a heavy mix of entitlement and envy floating through WNBA circles right now. It's not personal. Most of the players respect Caitlin's insane game. Legends, analysts, fans, they back her. She's earned it. But at the same time, you can feel the resentment, and it's thick. Almost like the league is scared to ride her wave. Instead of celebrating the momentum, they're tapping the brakes, worried she might outshine the rest.
She could be $1 billion athlete. Like, when I see these numbers, I'm like, oh, this is higher in the tour. This isn't even Jordan. This is totally.
Nike's playing the same cautious game, and it might cost them everything. They're sitting on a marketing gold mine, but waiting. Almost like they're scared to pull the trigger before everyone else signs off. And word is, Caitlin's shoe might not drop until 2026. Why? Because Nike wants to give a JS line space to breathe. But let's be real, once Caitlin's sneakers hit shelves, it's over. Her line won't just lead WNBA sales. It'll rival the biggest basketball shoes on earth. From little girls to sneakerheads, from driveways to gyms, everyone will want a pair. So yeah, it's not strategy, it's ego, and it's steering the ship straight into the wrong direction.
People want to buy Caitlin Clark things, and they especially want to buy Caitlin Clark Nike things. Why is Nike continuing to wait so long into her WNBA career when you could have put something out last year and it would have sold out? It doesn't make much sense.
And make no mistake, this fear-based strategy is dragging everyone down. Because every time Caitlin shines, the whole WNBA rises. More fans, more tickets, more everything. She's projected to bring $1 billion to the WNBA in 2025. $1 billion. And when she's not playing, it shows. Ticket prices nosedive. Viewership tanks. Remember the Fever Sky game? You could get in for $3. That's not a pro sport ticket. That's a matinee movie. That's not just the Caitlin effect. That's the Caitlin absence.
Angel Reese, part 38. Let's get it! Life throws her lemons. She makes bricks. Bang! PSA to anyone watching. She is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man. Bang! I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan? Bang! Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops. What? Bang!
And the most frustrating part, Wilson already showed us what could be. Their campaign is a masterclass, flawless storytelling. Pure hoop energy, no politics, just respect, just joy. Meanwhile, The WNBA and Nike are on pause during a CBA year, no less, their so-called breakout. Star Angel Reese is trending, but not for buckets. No, missed layups, viral memes, embarrassing clips. It's a distraction, and it's telling.
Another diabolical stat. She's 19 of 59 from less than 5 feet away. How about that, man? Bang! She should work at housekeeping for hotels because she can turn it over quickly. Lost by 27, scored only 4 points against the Indiana Fever. I mentioned no Caitlin Clark, no problem, give and go. Like a given no shot of working. Bang!
You prefer a car or plane?
Car or plane for what? For how you want to travel! That's too many steps and you can't do that.
So here we are, Nike's frozen, Wilson's flexing, and the league's choosing pride over progress. The result? A once-in-a-generation star stuck in marketing limbo while everyone treads lightly round optics. But this isn't a zero-sum game. Caitlin's rise doesn't dim others, it lifts the league. So why fight the current? It's time for the WNBA and Nike to stop overthinking and start doing what works. Because every delay isn't just costing money, it's leaving the door wide open for someone else to do it better. Wilson didn't flinch. They believed. They delivered. Meanwhile, Nike, the brand known for bold bets, is stuck in second guessing. It's time to fix that. Time to stop playing politics and start playing to win. If you think Nike is fumbling the bag, drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss what's next, because this story, it's just getting started.